Good morning. Full day of eating going down. So we have meal one, 100 grams of the custard cream, trained by JP Way, absolutely beauts. Then we have 100 grams of blueberries, 10 honey, and 60 whey protein isolate, which is the chocolate orange. I'm loving this combo. Then we got 150 gram of sourdough, 20 gram of peanut butter today. I'm supposed to have almond butter, but I ran out, so fuck it. Then we got 15 grams of jam. Can't be asked to make it presentable today. I'm just getting on with shit. So here we have it. Let's do it. Hello everyone, what is up? So, last time we spoke, I was in Alicante with Hope, and you saw the vlog of sort of the preparations for the show, and her showing. She won, which was amazing. If you haven't watched it, go watch the last vlog. It's a special one, and I'm looking forward. Well, I said this to Hope. I said, do you know what? Imagine in years to come when we watch back at that video, and it'd be great memories, right? I did say I was going to pick up the camera and show you the kind of the rest of the trip, but do you know what? I just didn't want to. It was our time to relax. We kind of had 2 days of holiday, and I was really sad to go, to be honest. I was really sad to leave. Like, I was looking forward to coming back and getting back into my routine with training and whatnot, but we were just having such a nice time after the show. Like, the sun came out, we went down to the beach, pool, and I just thought, you know what, when you're vlogging, you're kind of still in that switched on mode, like, right, what can I film, what shall I talk about? And I just didn't want to think about anything other than just being there with her. We enjoyed some nice meals out. We went for a sushi, we went got some gelato, which was nice. The same place I went to post-show last time I was there, when I competed in men's physique 3 years ago. And we went to Sale and Pepe, I think, which is salt and pepper, and we had a pizza, which was great. I even had a bottle of beer. I don't think I've drunk. The last time I drank an alcoholic drink was Christmas. I had a glass of wine with her, Hope. Before that, last time I actually got drunk was 4 years ago. I think that glass of wine with Hope was my first drink in like 3 years or some shit. Anyways, a long time ago, but when in Rome, when in Alicante, right? And it was fucking nice. Ice cold. Sat outside with a pizza in a little lane in Alicante. That was what dreams are made of. Anyway, we've been back now pretty much like 5 days. And it's Tuesday now, the 12th of May, which means check-in response day. So I thought I would go through that with you. From when I've been back to now, I've just been absolutely flat out. I had 5 new clients sign up whilst I was away. So obviously priorities when I got back was, one, obviously continue doing my check-ins. I didn't stop doing my check-ins whilst away, but also get those guys set up. So welcome to the team if you're watching any of my new clients. And now, let's go through today's check-in. Been kind of hovering around 134 kilo, to be honest. Not really seeing that go up. I did see my body weight go up to around 135 just before I went on holiday, or to Alicante, whatever you want to call it. I guess it is a holiday. But when I was away, I dropped about a kilogram and a half, just because we were just walking everywhere. Like, when you're on holiday, right, I didn't have a car. We are getting a lot of Ubers, but we are walking around a lot, and it's very hard to maintain. I was still getting all my meals in, but, it's still just so hard to maintain like 135 kilograms of body weight when I'm pretty active and moving a lot. So shots are here. Pretty happy with today's look. Like, very respectable condition for week 26 now of the off season. So I've been pushing for 26 weeks, and the plan of action has been discussed with my coach Kuba, and the timeline has now been adjusted. So we are now on week 26 of the off season. I've got 1 more week of pushing on a blast. My gear cycle, if you don't know what that is, go and watch my last full day of eating or full day of everything, where I go through my whole cycle. Won't bother doing that today. This is more so food, training, and a physique update. And then next week, I'm still going to be on my blast cycle, but no peptides whatsoever. Just literally my gear and GH only. And insulin, of course. And then week commencing May 25th, I go into my cruise health phase where we're going to bring drugs down, but I'm actually going to bump my growth hormone up, improve recovery and a bit of fullness as well. So I will touch on that obviously when it happens, what the dosings are going to be, what it's going to look like. But then that diet phase will be 9 weeks. All right, 5 of which being on a cruise health phase, and then the rest back on gear. And those 9 weeks, we're aiming to get me down to around 121, 122 kilo, like within striking distance of stage lean, to be honest. And I don't have loads of body fat to pull off, as you can see from the photos. Like, 10 to 12 kilos off this, I'm going to be fucking shredded. And it's going to be very cool to see my new and improved physique off the back of my last showing. Then we will be going back into an off season for 23 weeks again. And that push there, coming off the back of a health phase, getting fresh, but also dieted down and lean, that rebound out of that dieted down position while still on gear, pushing up for 23 weeks. Oh my days. It's exciting to see what my physique's going to look like, honestly. It's going to be a very cool look. Like those first 6 weeks post diet where I'm full of food but still fucking shredded, full of gear. Motherfuckers ain't going to be ready for the smoke next year. I'm telling you now. They probably will, because the dudes in open bodybuilding are fucking massive. But what I'm going to say is I'm going to be very fucking proud of what I look like. And I was talking about this on my story yesterday, if you follow me on Instagram. And my main goal for my season next year, my first season in open bodybuilding, is simply being proud of what I present on stage, because I have a very few select images of me on stage that I'm actually happy with, and I've never really come away from a competition and thought, oh mate, I look the bollocks, I fucking love that, like my posing's great. Yeah, I have brought some wicked looks, like peeled shredded condition, like, I've brought what I can, but I've never really been happy with what I present on stage, or proud and looked at stage photos. Yeah, I've posted them and that, but that's just kind of to show I did it. I want to step on stage and just be truly proud of what I've delivered, right? And that kind of takes the pressure off, because I'm going into a new division. I'm not expecting anything. The guys in open are fucking massive. Like, all I want to do is present a package that I'm just proud of. That's it. That I'm actually happy with. Because, like I said, until now, you go through all these preps, hard graft, years worth of work, weeks and months of putting in serious fucking graft, and then I look at my stage photos, I'm like, just not what I want to be looking like. It's not where I want to be. But luckily I fucking love the process. And my time will come, and that time is going to be next year. I really, really do think by next year I'm going to be obviously not where I want to be. Like, there's a long road ahead for me, but I will at least be where I need to be proud and happy with the stage shots. Anyways, so that to some might sound like, oh mate, you got fucking body dysmorphia. It's not even that. It's just that I hold myself to a high standard. Like, I know that, look, I'm not a pro, but my track record as an amateur in the NPC, no fucking Mickey Mouse categories, or federation, shall I say. I've been competing in Two Bros and NPC, IFBB only, right? And, first season of Men's Physique, won the overall, first show, won the sword, which I was like, what the fuck? Didn't even know what an overall was. And then I've won every one of my classic physique classes UK shows, other than one where Julio beat me and he turned pro. So that's cool. My international pro qualifier in Milan, I think it was like 26 to 30 lads in my class, can't quite remember now, and I got first call outs, so I got a placing. Right, I won both my classes last year, no overalls. So, as far as a track record goes as an amateur, I've done pretty fucking well, right? But that doesn't mean anything if you look at your photos and think, not happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, in here. Okay, it obviously does mean something. Like I am proud of what I've achieved and the progress I've made. Don't get me wrong, I'm not fucking delusional and blind. The progress I've made from where I was even 3 years ago in men's physique, or 5 years ago when I was a fucking skinny ass model, is like no other. But we all want more. And it's whether that's healthy or what, I don't know, and I don't really care because it fuels me, right? Keeps me pushing hard. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the shots. And today we are doing just a full day of eating, and I'm going to be training with 2 clients today, Jordan and Paulius. They're coming in, and we're hitting a push day. So I'll try to capture some of that. Don't know whether I'll film the whole session or not. I've not decided yet, but I will certainly get some of it, and we will be doing all the meals of today. Food hasn't changed. It's the same. My appetite's gone now since the holiday, which is kind of annoying. But look, I've made it to 25 weeks of pushing in an off-season of 5,000 plus calories. Till now, I think we're at like 5,600 calories. And I was pretty hungry up until I went on holiday. For whatever reason, the holiday just absolutely killed my appetite. I think it's like the few off-plan meals. I was also doing 5 meals a day instead of 6, just so I wasn't a complete slave to the kitchen and meals whilst away. So, I don't know whether, like, obviously that means if I'm doing 5 meals and my calories are 1,500, each meal is like at least 1,000 calories, 1,200 calories, different, setup, different food types. It's just led me. My appetite's not like, I'm not like, oh God, like, I'm just not hungry anymore. So, the appetite's gone. But look, I've got 2 more weeks of this and then we're in a diet, so it's pretty good timing. And look, who gives a fuck about appetite? The food goes down, that's all that matters. I just need to be very productive with my meal timings now, because before I was kind of getting prompted to eat with hunger, and I was really looking forward to my meals, and I eat them like with good pace. Whereas now I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like really not ready to eat, and I'm like, fuck, I've got to eat. So you have to be on it, because you could easily go, oh no, I'll just wait half an hour and I might be a bit more hungry. That hunger ain't coming. I find in an off season, as soon as that hunger's gone, you've lost it, and it's not coming back till your next diet. So that's why I protect it, because as soon as that goes, if I was in this position now with this appetite 10 weeks ago and I still had 10 weeks of pushing, I'll be like, fucking hell, like this is going to be a slog. So if you can, guys, in your off season, protect that digestion and appetite like your fucking newborn baby, because once it's gone, it's very hard to claw that back. So avoid the weekly really heavy greasy off plans. And I think I didn't really have anything too greasy or heavy other than the pizza. Obviously, it's just like different. But yeah, anyways, we're back, and 2 more weeks of this, and then we'll get to dieting. I'm actually very looking forward to documenting the diet. I'll obviously continue with the vlogs and show you the weekly progress and see what kind of fucking nasty condition we can get into. It'll pretty much be treated as a prep, but I just won't need to take it as far as stage lean, but we'll pretty damn fucking close, I'll tell you that. My glutes will be stripped out, that's for damn sure. So yes, let's get into meal 2. Meal 2, going down, Old Faithful chicken and rice. 200 grams of chicken breast raw, 175 gram of dry weight jasmine rice, 30 gram of avocado, bit of veg, 100 gram of pineapple. So, you know me, the Old Faithful, never ever fails me to this day. But eat this now. I've got some more check-ins to do, and then I've got a setup to do, and then time to train. Very much looking forward to my session today with the lads. All right then, boys. Meal 3 going down. Pre-workout here. A few other bits going on. I'll talk about that in a minute. This is 175 gram of jasmine rice, 150 chicken breast, 100 banana. With my first 3 meals of the day, I'll have a Digest Pharma Pro to ensure that I'm digesting it. And then Ensure, which is a GDA, glucose disposal agent, helps increase the insulin sensitivity and shuttle the carbohydrates. So I'm going to get my peri-workout supplementation ready, and I'll run through that as well, and then we'll head into the gym a little bit early today because I'm training with my 2 clients. I am going to go in a touch earlier so we're not on top of gym. If it was 3 of us, we could train, but I'm not training pushes of 4. It's just too much of a pain in the ass. So get this down, watch a bit of podcast or something, and then we'll head. Time to train, got the pre and intros out, and what we're saying about the new Vanquish polos. Very fucking hard, quite oversized. I'm going to be training in it. So it looks like a little bit of an England shirt replica, but it's got like Gothic font here and a big number on the back that's in Gothic font. It's very fucking cool, so that's on the way. Not released yet, but here we have our pre and intra. So pre, I'm going with Prepare Pro. This is a great all-rounder. Focus, energy with the caffeine, and actually some pump as well, but I do actually just take some extra pumpage because you can never be too pumped, is my opinion. Sour cherry for both of these, absolutely beautiful, especially if you're on prep. Like drinking that is just crack. Put it in the fridge, lovely. Glutamine, 10 grams of that. It's just another opportunity to take it, especially when having some sweeteners and that, good for the gut health, but I also just like to have that coming in across the day. Creatine, 10 grams. Both of those will be 20 grams total now because I take those fasted as well. And that's it for the pre. Intra, I got Performance Fuel, carb powder, to replenish the glycogen stores if you're getting a bit fatigued and flat towards the end of the session. Intra carbs are an absolute amazing tool to aid in performance, and I like to have it in the off season as a way of getting my carbs up as well, because the training window there is quite large, so it's an opportunity to get some carbs in, and during prep it's a great way to preserve performance and therefore tissue. EAAs, I'll do 20 grams, that's sour cherry as well. I like the orange mango of that, it's never failed me. It's always nice. And then I'll just have water. Intra. On my leg days, I'll have the hydration formula where I'm sweating more, but on push and pull days, I don't really sweat too much. So that's that. So I'm going to go meet the lads. I'm not too sure how I'm going to film or whatever. I'll probably bring my camera, but I'll just see. I'll go with the flow. I want to prioritise training with them, and if I capture some stuff, bonus. In for push, first exercise is triceps. 2 reasons why. 1, I need bigger triceps. That is one area of my physique that just fucking massively needs to come up and will bring a lot to my physique and make me look a lot more balanced with big fucking triceps. So anyways, 3 sets here, 8 to 12 rep range. My first set is a bit lighter and then 2 heavier sets to follow just to warm that elbow. And I've changed to this kind of setup where obviously 1, it's seated for stability, but also 2, just coming from one cable rather than each arm on a different cable arm. And why that is it's just way more stable. Like when I'm pressing down with each of those cable stacks, an arm on each, there's a lot more kind of wiggling, less stability, which causes then discomfort in the elbow. For me, I've found if I'm pressing like with an EZ bar or a rope or something like that, just from one cable attachment, I don't really get too much discomfort at all. So I can just drive it through with a lot more stability. And when you have an injury, stability is your best friend. So that's that. And then that leads me to my second point why I do it is going into these heavy presses with my elbows warm, connective tissue warm. I just find I'm a lot more confident. Yes, there will be a slightly taxed tricep, but I'll just take a decent bit of rest before going into this, and then I can actually press with great confidence with no discomfort. 2 sets here. First set is kind of like 5 to 7, and then we work in sort of like 6 to 8. I did reset this. I was pressing with 3 plates and a 15 on here. This is now 3 and a 10 just because I was getting good reps and they were certainly high quality compared to most people, but I just found I was just a little bit rushing it, getting a bit aggressive. So I just wanted to kind of tidy this up, especially with a diet in 2 weeks. It would just make it a lot more sustainable. Could have definitely done with a fucking spot here because then I get stuck halfway, which would have taken it out of me for the next set, but we move. Next we have my back off set, which is 3 plates. Again, wanted to make this extremely high quality. I had been also using elbow sleeves on that top set. I didn't want to use those. I don't want to rely on those. So again, here we move into my back off set, which is 3 plates, super high quality, as you can see, which is so important for a press. Stacked joints, so from my fist to my elbow in the lengthened position is a complete straight line. That is exactly what you want for strength and power, but also safety. If your hands are on the inside, it's going to be very tricep and elbow heavy. On the outside, it's going to be front delt heavy. So yeah, that's a pretty fucking clean back off, which I'm happy with. Then we're moving on to the prime high incline press, very much a top line press, upper pec, front delt. I just kind of like scoot my ass forward a little bit, just so it's not just all delt. I want to get some of that top line and upper chest. You want to push those elbows forward, so you're not flaring too much. As you can see, it's a pretty fucking high incline, but honestly it feels great in that stretch, and I've got it loaded sort of like mid to lengthened. I actually only do 1 set here, because that's all that's needed with the volume that I need to recover with and progress. And yeah, that was I definitely got that. Gets very hard in the mid for me, just with my long ass arms. I'm a little bit tall for that machine, but anyway, feels good. Into the pec deck, as you can see, arms, forearms on the fat grips. Why I like to do this, just keep a slightly semi-supinated hand, so my shoulders aren't rolling over and forward, bringing the front delts in, which for me, I used to be a very delt heavy and had a fucking pigeon chest, so like a lot of my stuff is very intentional with pressing and flying to keep it on the pec. This is 2 sets, 8 to 12 rep range. And yeah, I used to be a fucking, probably as strong as I am now with pressing about 3 years ago when I was fucking about 30 kilos less muscle, but it was just all on the delts, like just very, very flared elbows and just pure brute strength. Whereas now I'm just constantly trying to like keep the shoulders depressed, and just keep it in alignment with the pec. And yeah, this here, I'm just constantly thinking about keeping the shoulders depressed. You don't want to go so much range of motion where you're having to compromise your stack and kind of like raise your shoulders. Just keep them depressed. As soon as like you feel like they're going to start raising with range of motion, that's your range of motion done. Don't really need any more than that. And just be very persistent with keeping the chest elevated and proud. Don't want to arch your back too much, if at all. Like just keep the chest proud all the way to the end. And then into like a lengthened long head bias of a tricep, like overhead extension. Again, this can murder my elbows a little bit, but I just warmed up plenty. And again, I just found I was doing it, like I said before, with like the press down with each arm in one of each of these cable stacks, bringing them close together, and it's just very wobbly, which hurts the elbow for me. So here I've just opted for like, it's one of these kind of like fabric, almost like rope attachments, and it just felt way better. Like I was just laughing at how much better it felt. Just can just drive through and actually take it to failure without any sort of elbow discomfort. So with anyone with injuries, you're just trying to find like, honestly, just trying to find an option that doesn't give you aggravation and just run with it and progress it and get strong at it. Can't remember what I said, but that was 3 sets on there. 2 sets on the overhead extension. Then into seated machine laterals. 2 sets here for me because delts are definitely not an area that need loads of work. As you can see, really not much delt work at all because they're fucking massive, and my chest needs to come up a lot. So more volume and energy is placed into that and recovery capabilities. 2 sets here, sort of an 8 to 12 rep range. What I'm thinking about here is driving my fists into the floor, and just keeping the shoulders depressed all the way to the end. Go a little bit higher than you technically need to, but if I bring in a little bit of trap, who cares? At least I get the full range of motion. And you want to keep your rib cage kind of down. All right, session done. All right, the voiceover. And yeah, obviously trained with Paulius and Jordan. It's good to see them in person. Did a little bit of a pose at the end to check them over. Paulius is in the depths of an off season and first time going enhanced He won't mind me saying that because he put it on his story. So, you know, all the excitement that comes with that. He's looking mega, responding extremely well. And Jordan is on our photo shoot prep. I have a team client photo shoot prep with Bailey, and that is in 13 and a half weeks. So if anyone's interested in signing up for coaching and want to go straight into a photo shoot prep and get absolutely peeled, I am covering the shoot, so all you got to do is get peeled and turn up and obviously pay for the coaching. You know, that normally costs people an arm and a leg. So, you know, if you want to get involved in that, get involved in the coaching. But yeah, everyone's on point and great to just see the lads in person. More so just a training session, wasn't like a PT session. Like, you know, we just train together. They train really well, so we're just getting after it, which is always fun. Anyways, post-workout, we have 175 gram of jasmine rice, dry weight, and 200 gram of 2% turkey mince, bit of veg, and then 100 gram of pineapple, and that's it. Gonna eat this, chill, and then crack on with some work. Gonna finish off my new client setup, and then we can relax. I've got legs tomorrow, so I want an early night tonight. So yeah, a bit of that post-workout brain fog right now, and I need to eat. So we'll catch up later. By the way, absolute hack for the air fryer. Get these. Just lay your meat on there. Straight into the air fryer, cook it, meat straight out in the bin, don't even have to wash it then. Big up everyone who used to be out going raving on the session from sort of into sort of that deep house scene, sort of 2012, 2013 to 2016, 2017. Those were the golden days. I was an absolute fucking demon back. If you think bodybuilding's unhealthy, right? This is what I always think, like, oh, you know, bodybuilding's so unhealthy. You should have fucking seen what I was up to before I started bodybuilding. You know, this shit is healthy to me. Yeah, demon times. But yeah, those were the best days. Like, obviously my life's great now and I have a passion, I have a purpose, right? But that's what you got to do when you're 32. Like, when I was young, oh man, those days were just no responsibilities, just not giving a fuck about anything, just getting up to all sorts every weekend. But really good times as well. Yes, there were some, towards the end, it got a bit heavy, you know, and that's when I had to call it a day, and that's when I found bodybuilding. It kind of like, you know, it came at the right time for me, but those sort of early days, from sort of 18, 19, more so like 20 years old to sort of 24, man, I have memories to last me a lifetime. I've done more fucking sessions and partying than most people have done in fucking 20 lifetimes, and that's not even a brag, it's just real shit. And if you're a young lad, don't miss out on that really, because it comes around once in your lifetime. You don't want to be doing that shit and getting the urge when you're 40, 50. And yeah, it was that, for me, we used to be going out in Brighton a lot. If you're from that area, Brighton, Digital, it was originally, and then it became the Arch. You know, go round Brighton, hobgobbling, all like the pubs and that, for like day drinking when it's nice and sunny, go down the seafront, and then spill into the Arch, see a DJ, and that was before, like, you know, social media was like blowing up, so, you know, no one had their phones out, you're just getting up into all sorts on the dance floor, just fucking going at it with the lads and ladies. And then, you know, that would kind of Eneo, probably, I don't know whether he watches this, one of my best mates and partner in crime back in the day for many, many years, we would, like, every time we'd book like a taxi home with a minibus with like the whole crew, and it would get to like 4 or 5 in the morning, and it would be going home, we'd be like, should we stay? You know, when you're just fucking flying. She was like, oh nah, let's miss it, let's get the first train. 6 a.m, 7 a.m, you're like, mate, why the fuck did we do that? And then we'd go into Concord, and that would be after hours or some shit like that, and that would go on till like 7, 8 in the morning. Come out, and you'll be on Brighton Beach, sun's beaming on you, there's people going to work, like people out for jogs and shit. Get the first train home. I remember one time, the worst time. Oh my days. Come out of coalition and I hadn't got my top on. Must have been the summer and I was sweating my tits off. And I come out and I had no t-shirt and I had to get home. Like go on the first train, sat on the train home with a fucking bare chest, sat there like shades on, like, oh my days. Good times, man. Sup, bras. Meal 5. Almost started tucking in. I'm very hungry. And I was very hungry for my post-workout meal as well, which I'm very happy about because I was literally just talking to you guys this morning about having no appetite. And well, it's come back in full force today, thank God. I must have just needed some days of normality in my normal routine and proper hard training in my usual setup with clean, on-plan food for it to kick back in. But yeah, I'm sat here like, oh, my stomach's actually rumbling. Fucking best feeling ever when you haven't had an appetite. So, 125 of rice. I was doing potato here, but I did swap it to rice because my appetite wasn't great, and rice for me just goes down so easy. And potatoes are a fucking pain in the ass to kind of like prepare when you're not hungry, but we'll see. If I'm still very hungry, I'll go back to it, but look, rice is goat for me. It's just the king. Very easy to prepare. I can just do it all in the morning as well. I do like having a different variety of carb sources, but right now, this just goes down so good. Anyways, jasmine rice, 200 grams of 5% lean beef mince and a bit of veg. That's it. Then I'll prepare my last meal in a sec once this is done because I like having my cream of rice cold. I've probably got about 15-20 minutes of steps to do. I'll do that after this meal, just walk around the block and then I can chill. Bruh, fucking kill me.
Okay, so just from Julian.
Last meal of the day, guys, going down. So the first L of the evening was obviously dropping the blueberries everywhere. When you're just so tired, I'm like just dropping shit. I'm like, oh, I can't even be bothered to pick it up. I thought I'll be fuming at myself if I don't pick that up. I'm like that in the morning, like first thing in the morning, I'm trying to get all my fucking shit out, like my pills, my health subs and that. I'm just dropping shit, when you're tired. I've got sausage fingers, or when you're in like deep into prep. Sometimes I'll drop something and I'll just think, I can't be fucked to pick it up, and it's just on the floor all day, just kicking it and shit. Oh, it's a hard life being heavy. That's just me being lazy, to be honest. But anyways, got my growth hormone here, which is at 10 IU. I'll do that all pre-bed. And I've got my TB 500, BPC 157. I do those 1 milligram. And then GHKCU, 2 milligram per day. I actually ran out of that and I wasn't doing it for about a week, but it's back in now. Last meal is the custard cream of rice, trained by JP, 120 grams. I'm actually loving that. I was a little bit skeptical, so I thought it might be a little bit too sweet, but it's actually fucking great, even peak off season. I am a man who likes the more neutral flavours, like the more creamier flavours. I really like the maple syrup. I'm a vanilla guy. And I don't mean, that's often used as an insult. You're so vanilla, but vanilla's fucking banging. Do you know what I mean? The more sort of like caramel biscuit, salted caramel, these types of ones. I fucking really don't like the really fruity ones, really sweet ones. It's just not a bit of me. Anyways, custard cream, banging. Would highly, highly recommend. That's probably my favourite at the moment. Maple syrup is very good as well. 10 gram of dark chocolate, 200 gram of blueberries, 60 gram of whey drip. You see my post on Instagram, you look like someone who says whey drip, in brackets, derogatory. I've said it occasionally though, so we can all laugh at ourselves. Anyways, chocolate orange is very good. I'm honestly shocked at how accurate that is. The cream of rice chocolate orange is very good. But I went for the whey this time, and it's really, really nice. And it's, again, quite subtle, but it's very accurate. But it's not like some cream of rices, if they're a bit too sweet, they're almost a bit artificial. This tastes legit. Peanut butter is my second L of the evening. I accidentally picked up crunchy peanut butter from Sainsbury's when I just went, which is a fucking L, but oh well, I need to get some almond butter anyway. Now, that's my last meal. It's 8 p.m, a bit late. But I've just found myself just this last meal just edging a bit too later and later, because the appetite's not quite there, and I'm like, I need to let that sit a bit more. But do you know what? I eat this about 8. It's running a bit late now because I'm obviously fucking talking. But I'll then try and be in bed for 9. Latest I'll be asleep 9:30. Then I'm up for about 6, 5:30, 6. So it's a decent amount of hours in bed and whatnot, but still knackered. You know what it is like peak off season, but I'm getting the hours in, and that's fine. Yeah, it's just like when you're in the off season, I just feel like you need more sleep. Like I wake up, I'm like, bro, I feel like I've not even slept. I've been sleeping for fucking like 8.5 hours. But and then in prep, like I wake at like 4 a.m. I'm like, right, let's start the day. I literally go to bed like fucking buzzing to wake up, so I can get on with my routine. Whereas now I'm like, I'm looking forward to going back to bed tonight. Just the way it is in the off season. But yeah, like with every phase you have this is what I say to everyone, like, every phase has its perks. When you're in the off season, everyone's like, can't wait to get shredded, don't like getting fluffy, all this and that. It's like constantly looking forward. Can't wait for that next phase, can't wait to get shredded. And then when you're in the diet phase, you're thinking, oh, I can't wait to eat loads of food, get massive, get strong. It's like you're constantly wanting that next phase. When in reality, each phase has real big perks. When you're in the off season, strong, you're full as hell, feeling big, looking at performance in the gym, looking forward to performance in the gym, like, you're making improvements, you're on a mission, eating a good amount of food, which can be good, sometimes can be a fucking drag, but, for the most part, it's good, more flexibility and whatnot. So, think about that, embrace that, the size, the strength. And then, when you go into your prep, your diet phase, whatever, might not be competing, you're cut for the summer. Love the challenge of, pushing yourself, that sharpness you get. Like, yeah, obviously at the end of a prep, you're like, a bit tired, but for like fucking 80% of the prep, I'm wired. I'm so buzzing. Like, I've got so much energy. I just want to do everything. I want to do work. I want to do this, do that. Super productive. Seeing the shreds. Like, there's no better feeling than just looking in the mirror and just looking fucking aesthetic as fuck, like shredded up, nasty condition. And revealing all the new tissue that you've actually just spent however fucking long, 20 plus weeks building. So focus on that. Don't think about the negatives. Don't think about the negatives. Don't stress, bro. It's like saying to a homeless person, just buy a house, bro. Easier said than done, but we can always try. Anyways, that's it. If you use my code at trainbyjp, GAN10, I really appreciate you guys. Don't like selling too much. Like, you can see what I use. Like, I use all my products. Everything that I get from Trained by JP, I was using anyway, and I have used for years. It's something that all the products I use, the supplements, I fucking swear by. So if you're getting anything from Trained by JP, use my code GAN10, and I massively appreciate it, and that supports me. I do have a code at Vanquish as well, VQ Fit, which is Joe15. Again, like, these are the two sponsors that I have. Trained by JP, I have my clothing. I am sponsored with Trained by JP clothing as well, but they are in an understanding that I'm also sponsored by Vanquish. That's more an affiliate, to be honest. Trained by JP is my legit sponsor. I'm a sponsored athlete with Trained by JP. And, I've been offered other sponsorships, like, there's tons of stuff, lifting equipment, this and that, nose strips, fucking, there's peptides, all this and that. But I just say no, because I don't want to be pushing loads of codes. I don't like watching YouTube videos where it's just like fucking straight out the gate, just use my code for this, use that, this new product. I don't want to watch this shit. I'm not here to be sold to. I just want some entertainment, right? So I kind of like really keeping this quite subtle and leaving it to the end for my like loyal viewers. And if you would like to support me, then use my code, as opposed to like the only reason I'm making this video is so you use my code, if you know what I mean. It's more so like like if you appreciate the vids and like you like my content and you want me to do more content and, you know, to help me support me and whatnot for the time spent making the vids. If when you get this stuff, if you're already getting it anyways, use my code. GAN10, baby. Anyway, on that note, I am off. I need to eat. And it's bedtime, baby. So tomorrow's leg day in with gym. Looking forward to that. And then Thursday's rest. I'm getting an echogram for the heart just to check myself over. And then at the weekend I'll get my blood work done. Then Thursday, Hope's coming over. Fucking hell. Like, guys, nothing but respect for my lovely wife, Princess Hope. Obviously just competed, right? You probably don't know because she doesn't vlog or anything like that. Like, I know a lot of you guys want her to vlog, the ladies mainly, but she's just, and she really wants to, and I think she will when she gets a bit of life back to her. But she's just so busy. Like, for example, this week, come back from obviously she's just competed, right? Straight into 10 days straight working 12-hour shifts a lot of the time, and obviously, like, you know, she goes gym before. She's not had a rest, not had anything, like post show, like straight in, trains at like whatever 5-6 in the morning, works from 8 till 8 a lot of the time, and then will work through the whole weekend as well at their other job, and then, you know, she's coming over in the evening to see me and then work the next day. So, you know, she works her fucking ass off, let me tell you that, and it's inspiring for myself. You know, you guys might look to me for inspiration or whatever, or other people for inspiration, but, you know, she is outworking me really in that regard, like with the shifts and that. So yeah, nothing but respect for her, and it's inspiring as well for me because seeing how she is through prep, just, you know, well, you've seen her in my vids. When you see her in my vids, like upbeat, like chirpy, super positive, that is how she is all the time. I think I've seen her like really tired once. It's fucking me. I'm like sat there like full of food, like in the off season, like she's like full of life. So, you know, that's for me, and I've not heard her. I think I've heard her moan once, and that's now. She was like, She said to me today, like for the first time I've ever heard her say anything like this. She was like, "I'm so fucked. Like, I can't even explain. Like, I actually for the first time didn't want to go train. I almost cried. I was like, bro, please talk to Meg and say this because you need a fucking deload or some shit. Like, just have a rest." She's like, "No, I want to train." Which is amazing, obviously. But anyways, that's what I'm saying. It's inspiring for me on how I can conduct myself and just be a bit more, you know, I take everything with my stride, but just make the effort to be like upbeat and positive with people around you in day-to-day life. Like, you're not on a, you know, it's one of those ones. When you're on prep, you've just, like, you're so in your own bubble and head, like, with her, I was like, she wasn't even on prep. It was very, very inspiring, honestly. So, yeah, she'll be coming over. But other than that, good night, guys. Peace out.